If you've been looking for a place where you can be spiritually curious without joining anything, believe in something without abandoning your own brain to do it, and ask big questions without anyone trying to sell you a system, and if you're ready to trust your own wisdom, you might be in the right place. Hi, I'm Amy Lynn, and this is Being Crone. This is a channel for the one ready to hear and follow their own inner knowing. Here, we're going to talk about mediumship, consciousness, grief, healing, and the strange, joyful, sometimes really brutal work of actually getting to know yourself, all through a grounded, free-thinking lens, all with wonder and discernment and without rushing every curiosity into a conclusion. I'm an evidential medium and an atheist, which I understand, sounds like I've lost the plot in two different directions at once. But here's the thing, consciousness isn't a belief system and evidence doesn't require a deity. I'm not spiritual because I need comfort. I'm spiritual because I've seen enough to take it seriously. And honestly, I'm skeptical enough not to dress it up in borrowed robes. But if your framework includes faith, religion, or a God you talk to, genuinely, that's not a conflict here. What matters isn't the container. It's whether you're thinking for yourself inside of it. We're not here to pretend life fits into neat little categories. And we're certainly not here to hand you answers tied up in a mystical little bow. Those don't exist here. And honestly, that would be a little suspicious. So yeah, we'll talk about mediumship a lot. Fair warning up front. At its heart, being Crone is about living with mystery, meaning, and personal responsibility without handing your mind over to dogma or your life over to performance. It's about what life does to us, what we choose to do with it, and what it teaches us whether or not we are paying attention. And we're deeply curious about all of that, the losses and the recoveries, but also the joys, the expansion, the unexpected successes, and the quieter moments. Those moments where something just shifts and you realize you've become someone slightly different than you were. Those are the best moments to me. So change isn't always hard, but it is often simple. Sometimes the best thing that can ever happen to us is change, and that deserves as much attention as the wreckage. To me, Croneness isn't an aesthetic, a role, or a spiritual identity badge that we pick up at the Crossroads gift shop. We dodge dogma, we live by curiosity over rigid belief, and Croneness, the way we mean it here, is a way of being more awake, more honest, and more responsible for the stories we live by. All while still making room for depth, delight, the occasional absurdity of being alive, which there is, for the record, quite a lot of. I've done a fair amount of living, love and loss, grief and celebration, addiction and sobriety, codependency and independence, failure and genuine success, spiritual seeking, rebuilding, and the ongoing project of choosing to be more conscious than comfortable. Not because my story is the point, but because shared experience teaches things. It tells on us gently. The red flags we saw that we named correctly and walked straight past anyways. And sitting with that honestly, rather than explaining it away, is where personal responsibility actually begins. It reminds us what hurts, what heals, what delights, and who we do and do not want to be. This is not a space for borrowed certainty, spiritual theater, or dressing up avoidance in prettier language. This is a space for curiosity over indulgence, for honest exploration without building a whole personality around the hard parts, and for taking mystery seriously without losing our critical thinking in the process. Because, getting wiser isn't only about surviving the hard things. It's also about making room for joy, laughter, wonder, and creative play without apology. The kind of lightness that keeps all of this from becoming one long spiritual root canal. We question what limits us, we honor what fuels us, and we follow the pull of real intuition. What we're building here is the kind of space I wish I found much earlier. Not the love and light kind that makes you feel better for 5 minutes and lost for 5 years, if you're anything like me. But a space where realism and mystery actually meet, where discernment doesn't cancel wonder, where we're invited to think for ourselves and stay open to the profound without handing our minds over to anyone's framework, including mine. If you're ready to trust your own wisdom, you're already home. Let me know what being Crone means to you. Leave a comment, ask a question, sky's the limit. I'm going to read them. Know yourself, own your knowing, trust your good work. That's the whole spell.